In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to create a simple gear train with idler gear in Onshape. So the first thing I did was I inserted some parts. I inserted a little metal base and then 3 gears. I have a 60, a 12, and an 84 tooth gear. First things first, I'm going to fix this metal piece to the ground just so, again, we're not going anywhere. I'm not going to do any drive shafts. I'm not going to do any shaft collars. That's in the simple gear train video. So if you do want to see how to do that, you can go back and watch that video. But I'm just going to show how to actually link multiple gears in this video. So again, as you are starting with your first gear, again, we'll just choose a 60. It doesn't really matter. I will, again, go to this middle point right here. Let's get this stuck to our metal base. Again, how do you get to a metal point there? Again, you can just hold the shift button, move over, click, and you can let go. It should pop right in the middle, flip our axis so our parts are not going inside of each other. So we got the first one on there. We'll put the little one in the middle. Why not? We can do a revolute mate. Let's look at this little 12 tooth gear here. Perfect. Got right on the middle point for us. Again, we can put our 12 tooth gear right here. That looks wonderful. Let's flip it, lock it in. And then lastly, let's put the 84 tooth gear on here. All right, so let's rotate that around a little bit. We can, again, hold shift, jump to the middle, click, let go, and that will get us that center point right there. Again, for the spacing, again, this would be one away would be a 12. Then the next one is the 36, the 60, and the 84. So we know that we want to put this one here. Hold shift, pop it there, move it. Oop, I'm getting sticky keys. We'll just close out of that. And then let's rotate this around so our parts are not inside of each other. Let's go green, check mark. We'll lock that in. Okay. Again, very similar to the previous video. I now have 3 gears. They all individually spin. So again, because we did revolute mates with these gears, they're all able to spin. And now we want to tie these gears together using gear relation. Okay. So again, if we talk about, our input and our outputs, okay. So if I'm putting in my effort into this first gear, this is my input, this is my output. So I'm going to choose my second gear, and then I'm going to choose my first gear. Again, if we're going output over input, I have 12 over 60, all right, because that's the number of teeth that I have. We can just check this really quick as well as we kind of zoom in. If I click and hold on this, again, my direction of rotation is correct, and then also those teeth are hitting in the same spot every time. Even though they're running into each other, that's fine. We can fix that in a minute. I'm just going to kind of move that back there. Okay. Oop, I went back too far. There we go. So let's do the second one now. I've created a gear relation between this first gear and the second gear. Well, now we want to do the second gear to the third gear. So we can do gear relation. Again, now this one is the input. The large one is the output. So we can say revolute 3, our output, then our revolute 2, which is our input, our output over our input. So we have 84 over 12. Let's lock that in. And again, we can check this one now. Let's zoom in on these teeth as I pull this one down. Again, the speed is correct. The rotation is correct. So now, right, let's get back to this last step. We want to make sure that our teeth are meshed, right? Like right now we're colliding on both sides. So what I would recommend is changing the 2 on the outside. So again, you could go to your first revolute mate. Yep, that's the one that highlights the gear. Let's double click on that. Again, we want to move our gear and we want to do a new rotation angle. So again, if we're looking at this part right here again, let's just start with a 1. I think we're going to get pretty lucky there. We can lock that one in. So now as I turn this, those teeth are perfectly meshed. Okay. As we kind of jump back to this one now, I'm going to look at revolute 3. Again, this first one is the one that's the gear. I'll double click on that and we'll say move because we want to move this outside 84 tooth gear. Again, for the rotation angle, it's going to be probably different for each one. So I did one that looked like it was way too much. Let's do 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do 5. Okay. Again, I do have some clearance there. I think that looks pretty good. We'll say, sure, 5 degrees. We'll say green check mark. And again, we can check this one now. Our teeth are perfectly meshed. Again, we're not having any collision. And then again, something that I like to do with this as well is if we go to our Revolute, we can go to animate, and then again, we can just click play, and now we can see our simple gear train with idler. So again, I think that looks pretty cool. It's all functioning together. We have the correct rotations. And then again, if you want to slow it way down, we go to steps. I don't know, we do 2,000, sure. As we push play, again, we can look at our simple gear train, and again, perfectly meshed teeth. Everything's going in the correct direction. So again, that is how you guys would create a simple gear train with idler gear.